very excited to be here today with Mr. Hani Mourra. Welcome, Hani.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me, Vicky.
So excited for today's interview. Now, Hani Mourra is an online video marketing coach. He's a software engineer and father of two beautiful girls, which I can attest to. I see gorgeous pictures of them all the time. He's
Thank you.
passionate. You're welcome. He's passionate about showing small business owners how easy video marketing can be and how to use video to rank on top of Google and generate really targeted leads, which I think is really important. So that's why I brought Hani here today. So how are you, Hani?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well, Vicky. How are you?
Wonderful. I'm doing great. Thank you. So excited to be here with you. Tell me a little bit about your industry background.
Sure. Basically, from the beginning of time, well, high
Oh,
school, I guess,
okay.
I love video. I always loved making video. There's something about video that was just gets me excited. Creating something from nothing, just from a camera, just
Okay.
always got me excited. So any school project we had back in high school, I'd always try to incorporate a video component. And we didn't have all the great tools like we do now, so it was more difficult. But anyway, I love video, so kind of, I don't know, maybe around 2005 or so, I would say I started kind of on a part-time basis, my own little video production company, and focusing on the editing part mostly. That's why I got involved in the editing. I did kind of small ads for companies. I did some local like training for their internal purposes, like companies wanted to train their staff, so I helped them with some training videos.
Okay.
I even edited a wedding, it was kind of a random request, but I did that as well. So, any chance I got to do some editing, I loved doing it. I enjoyed it, and that's how I kind of got started. And then around 2009, around August, I had a good friend of mine who got into blogging and online, and he said, you have a passion for video. Why don't you just teach people? You have this knack for teaching people how to do things, and the way you teach is very simple, very clear. I said, okay, let's give it a shot. So I fired up my blog, called it Easy Online Video Tips, and that's what it was, just giving tips out to people on how to do things a simple way with video. And as a result of that, we did a little bit of, got some coaching, part-time coaching for people who kind of came across my site. And what I noticed is people wanted help a lot, were coming to me for technical help. So not a lot on the marketing side.
Okay.
And so more on the technical side, and which is great because I enjoy technical. I have an engineering background. I like to solve problems in a very simple way. So I kind of focus initially focused more on the technical side. And as I learned more just from being out there marketing my own blog, I kind of moved into how powerful video is for driving traffic to your site. So I started teaching a little bit more about that and coaching a little bit more on that. So that's kind of me in a nutshell.
Interesting. Well, you mentioned and you touched upon two interesting things I just want to go back to. So you said that in school you had a lot of projects on video, and you incorporated it into your project. I was interested to know what kind of a background do you have in actually filming? Like, what did you use to film these projects? How are you doing that?
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Oh,
We just had those like camcorder, whatever we had around
okay.
the house, and I don't know. The editing was very primitive. I remember like having like kind of like a VCR here and then trying to dub another tape
Uh-huh.
over it. I can't remember. The editing wasn't even done on a computer in
Were
some
you
cases.
splicing?
We were like, yeah, playing from here, recording it. And I can't even wrap my head around how complicated it was compared to how easy it is now
Yes,
to
yes.
put together a nice video, decent video, very quickly and get it out to the masses.
Right.
It's just the world has changed so fast.
And you are very technical, I know that. So you said that you have an engineering background also?
Yeah, I actually went to university here in Canada. I'm up in near Toronto area in Canada.
Oh,
I went to an engineering. I got an electrical engineering or a computer engineering degree,
okay.
specializing in software development. So nothing to do with video, but video was always my passion. What
Sure.
I like doing, I like reading about. I was always interested in lighting, microphones. It's exciting for me. So
Right.
I enjoy everything to do with video. And now the world has changed, and video and YouTube is just a powerful tool for your business. So I kind of incorporated that into my business. Is kind of using video, not for fun, but for getting traffic, getting targeted traffic
Right,
So,
for a purpose. And I will say that your videos are fun. So maybe not your intentional, like primary purpose for fun, for doing it yourself because you're trying to drive traffic. But again, with the viewers, you want to make those videos fun. So I think you do a real great job with that.
thank you, thank you. I like to, yeah, I like to have fun with it. And I also I encourage people to have fun with it because it can be a little technical when you're first getting started, but if you think of it as a fun project, fun activity, you'd be more motivated to go ahead and do it.
Absolutely. And I want you to tell me a little bit more about your business.
Sure. So 2009, when my blog started, got a little bit into the coaching. I enjoyed it, but a lot of the coaching requests were focused on the technical side, and it was very hard to kind of walk through a lot of technical stuff like on a one-on-one basis via Skype or anything like that. So then I started looking at online training courses. So if there was a common problem, I would create maybe a video or two or a series of videos on how to solve that particular problem. And I experimented a little bit. I had this one course way back in the day. It might even still be available. I don't even remember anymore. It's about how to get your PowerPoint presentations from PowerPoint as videos.
Oh, okay.
It's an easy way walking through the stuff. It was a request from one of my clients, and I made a video for him, and he said, why don't you sell this to other people? I said, hey, let's give it a shot.
Sure.
So I experimented with it, and I enjoyed making online courses, but I don't know, it wasn't quite the exact fit for me.
Okay, so you actually help businesses get their videos out on the internet and get them in front of eyeballs to get more traffic.
Exactly.
And you're really great with the technical aspect. I know that because I'll tell you a secret. Before this call, actually, Hani was very generous in helping me and my mom, who's also my business partner, get a video up on my website. So he really, really is a genius when it comes to the technical side of getting the videos to work. Because let's face it, you can have the best video in the world, but unless it works, it really doesn't matter how great it is. So tell me a little bit about how you got so passionate about the technical side of these videos.
I guess ever since I was a kid, it was just solving problems, and solving complicated problems in an easy way was always kind of my thing.
Breaking it
I
down,
guess
kind of.
break it down, simplify the problem, and solve it,
Mm-hmm.
one chunk at a time. I think that's kind of why I went into engineering. Engineering is all about solving problems.
Right. And
And
I think it's very important for businesses to have help like that to solve the problems of getting their visual content in front of an audience. So one of the reasons that I came to know you was because I was part of Real Marketing Insider, right? A training with James Wedmore, phenomenal. And you were starting Simple Video Press, this project that you had. And I was proud enough to raise my hand and say, I want to be on the beta test group. Sign me up because I had a need for getting that video up from YouTube on my blog, taking that extra step out of the mix. So you do a great job with that and make it really super simple for businesses like myself to get that content up into your blog or on your video site, whatever it is. So tell me a little bit more about Simple Video Press.
okay, perfect. So I'll start off by telling you why I created it and kind of how it came about.
Yeah.
Is solving problems was kind of my thing, and online coaching and training was, I enjoyed it, but it wasn't quite there. And then one day it hit me. I'm a software engineer. You know, I learned how to develop software. Why don't I build tools to help
Okay.
people instead of teaching with video? Why don't I build tools? I have a skill I'm excited about, so let's combine software and video and build some tools. And that's kind of how the first tool, actually, Simple Video Press, came about because I needed this tool.
Okay, so it was your own need.
It's my own need. I wanted to
Gotcha.
publish videos. I was publishing videos, every month or so,
Hmm.
and I found myself, it's quite a bit of effort to get the video up and optimize, and we'll talk a little bit about, optimization
Yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, but there's work involved, and then once you get it up there, you're like, oh, I'm relieved, I'm
Yeah.
done. But you're not done, because part of the marketing that you want to do is not only get it on YouTube, you want to promote it through your website or your blog, and you want to drive the traffic to your blog, not to YouTube. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I
Yes.
found that one step to go, once the video is on YouTube,
Hmm.
there was a manual effort of copying and pasting the title and embed code. And it took a few minutes, but I always found that step got delayed. It took me a long time to kind of have the motivation. I feel like I should stop at YouTube, but it took me some time to get this on my site and email my people on
Yes.
my newsletter. So I
Yes.
found that was a kind of a slow point in my workflow.
I
So
totally agree. I know
yeah,
all about embedding those codes and
it's
the
simple,
hassle.
but there's something about it that I get stuck on that.
Hmm.
But now with simple video press, you don't have to worry about it. You upload it on YouTube, and then within an hour, it shows up on your blog, whether it's
Hmm.
draft or the whole, or published. You can
Right.
decide, and it's ready to go. So I solved my own problem um, when I started doing simple video press. So, and I'm happy to see that people feel the same way. I
Oh
thought,
yeah,
hey, if I
definitely.
have this problem, I may not be the only one. Maybe other people have this problem.
Right. I can attest to that. And just go back a little bit
Sure.
to talk about the idea of simple video press being a WordPress plugin on for
Yes.
your WordPress blog, okay, which my website is WordPress based, so therefore it works excellently. It pulls in a video that you post on YouTube as a draft. Like you can set it to go in as a draft or you can set it to automatically push to post regularly. But if you do video marketing, sometimes you don't want to automatically have it post because there are some other edits that you need to do, maybe in the description, maybe in their title, whatever it may be. So I just wanted to hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, that's actually when I first came up with the concept, it was only draft. I never had the publish feature.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's probably, Google's and YouTube's search engine algorithms keep changing. And there was always a question, do you want to have the exact same description from YouTube show up exactly copy and paste from YouTube onto your WordPress site, like on the new page that you have? So initially it was draft. There was some people asking for auto publish, so we added that. But really, the draft is my personal opinion is keep it in draft, add your own kind of unique content, a few
Right.
paragraph, a few sentences,
Mm-hmm.
and then hit the publish button.
Yes, and then I do that. And also you can do it if you want to schedule posts to go out too. So that gives you a nice, the ability to also schedule.
That's right. Yeah, you can schedule on YouTube, and once it's scheduled, you can have it show up on your blog, or you can schedule it on your blog to publish on a certain date. Yeah, you have the flexibility. So the
Right.
tool was designed to solve one problem, which was taking the data from YouTube and creating a brand new page or a
Right.
blog post and have the video already embedded,
Yes.
have the description and your tags, which are very important. The
Oh,
tag
definitely.
keywords are very important, and the
Yes.
title is very important. And then we built some nice features around it, like Facebook. When you share something on Facebook, for example, this is one of my favorite features, which I was hoping to get more people excited about. Maybe they're not as aware of it, but
Okay.
Facebook, when you put a link to a YouTube video on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
it plays the video inside of Facebook.
Right.
When you put a link on a page, let's say your blog post that has a video on it, without simple video press, you post a link, it would just show a thumbnail of a picture with a link to your site
Right.
on
A small
Facebook,
one.
a small one.
Right. Right.
But what I did with figured out a way. So if simple video press makes the post for you, is created by you, if you share that page, you're gonna get best of both worlds. You're gonna get all the links below in the description linked to your site, which is what you want to drive the traffic to your site. But instead of a thumbnail, you actually get the YouTube video playing right inside of Facebook.
So that's if you share it from your blog, you mean?
Yeah, so if I liked your posts and I copy and paste the link into my status update,
Okay.
or if you have any Facebook share buttons on your blog and someone shares,
Yes.
um, the actual video will play on
Oh.
in the timeline, the Facebook
Okay,
timeline.
so if you use the share button for Facebook in your blog, not an external Facebook share, like if I was in Hootsuite, which is another social media platform, if I
Uh,
did it externally, it wouldn't do that?
It might because the code is built into your WordPress site. The plugin adds
Oh,
some special code, so anybody who puts that link on
gotcha.
Facebook is
Okay.
gonna play the video.
I wasn't even aware of that, and I think
Yeah, I
that's
think
phenomenal. That's great. That's a total added benefit to make your visual even bigger.
yeah,
It's all about these, right? It's all
yeah.
about competition for eyeballs. So why
Especially
not, make the most of it?
especially on Facebook. If people see a video, the tendency is to click. If they see a thumbnail,
Right.
it's just gonna go down the feed and no one's gonna notice it. So you're gonna get
Absolutely.
more engagement. People are gonna notice it more.
Yes.
You're gonna get more views because when you
Hmm.
play the video, it still counts as a view on YouTube and it tracks. It's like someone playing the video directly on YouTube.
So even if they play it off of YouTube, it counts as a view on YouTube?
Yes, because it's still it's embedding. It's basically embedding the YouTube video on Facebook.
Okay.
So you're getting all the glory of views, whether they're watching on Facebook or your blog or on
Right.
YouTube. You're still getting the count on.
Yes.
It counts towards how many views on YouTube, which is also a factor in search engine
Yes.
ranking. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I also know that Google Plus, obviously Google, everybody knows they own YouTube. So the
right.
integration with Google Plus is seamless, but Facebook was a little bit more difficult, but you seem to, take care of that with SVP.
Yeah, yeah, it handles it automatically, and I think not a lot of people know about that feature, and I
No.
plan on kind of making some more, make people aware of some of the hidden features that, I personally came up with these ideas, and I'm like, hey, I like this feature. People should know about it. Even if they don't use it, they should know about it. They might find ways to take advantage of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like you can definitely send out an announcement about that, maybe even a press release. Yeah,
Yeah, I
that sounds
definitely need
great.
to let people know, people who are using it, let them know about the other hidden features that are,
Yes.
who
Because I
built our
wanted
software.
I wanted to have you on today, Hani, because I really believe in your product. I think you've really solved the problem of making it easy for business owners to include that visual content, and video is phenomenal. It is so totally important. The more you have on YouTube, the more visible you are on Google. It's a circle. So I think your service is really valuable. I think your knowledge is phenomenal. And I just wanted to have you speak a little bit as the expert about what is the most important thing to a business about online marketing. And if that's video, if you believe that is, you can speak on that. But what is the most important thing about online marketing for businesses today?
Okay, that's a great question. And to me, it boils down to targeted traffic. So you want to get people coming to your site, but you don't want anybody coming. You want the right people coming to your site. So you want targeted traffic coming to your site. And my blog has been around for some time now, and I think it's the number two or number three source of traffic is still YouTube. Even
Yes.
now, I don't publish as regularly
Mhm.
as I used to in the past on my blog, but videos are still there. The videos from 5 years ago are still there and are still generating traffic.
Definitely.
So the idea is to get targeted the right people on your site. That's kind of what online marketing is all about.
Yes. And
That's the
it's
first step. Sorry.
okay.
That's the first step.
Sure.
So I use YouTube. I highly believe in YouTube. It's like you mentioned before, Google owns it, and Google favors videos. And when you do a search for whatever you're searching for, you typically see at least one video show up on the first page of Google. So I definitely believe YouTube is a great way to get that targeted traffic. And I can talk a little bit more about some small tips to help people figure out how to get that targeted traffic.
Yeah,
Because
sure.
exposed to video,
Mm-hmm.
anybody can watch it or nobody can watch it. But
Right.
how do you increase your chances of
Right.
getting the right people on it? It all boils down to having the right keywords.
Mm-hmm.
Or
And also, I would say, because I know what you do, I would say it's not just your keywords, but it's about really, really good content. And that you have. So if people aren't familiar with your blog, tell me a little bit more about that, and what kind of video content do you produce? Because it's not only about the keywords. I want to give you credit where credit's due now. You produce really good content. So tell
right.
me a little bit more about your blog.
You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Content is people always say it's a cliche, content is king. And the content can be text, it can be video, but what you want to do, what your objective is to give away as much value to the person that you the person visiting your site as possible. So you want to teach them a trick. You want to save them time. You want to just solve one of their pain points, one of their problems. You want to get them. Uh, you want to build that trusting relationship. So let me kind of start again. Let me tell you, like for my site, for example,
Okay.
you don't want to sell or market. You don't want to sell anything on social media sites. You don't want to sell anything on YouTube, Facebook. You don't even want to sell directly on your webpage.
Okay.
You want people to come in
Mm-hmm.
and get to know you. You want them to know what you're all about, what your business is all about, and once they build that trust, and you build that trust by creating content.
Right.
So a brand new visitor visits my site.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know who I am. They kind of stumbled across through a search engine or through a referral or whatever. They have no idea who I am. They start watching my videos and they decide by first they see me. Video is powerful because they get to see me as a person, how I talk, how I explain things. And if they resonate with that, they like my style,
Mm-hmm.
they might watch a few more videos. So most of my videos are training kind of tips. Here's how you
Yes.
do this, here's how you do that. So, and there's no charges, no nothing, no opt-in.
Well,
You know,
what are they tips on?
there are tips on like tech tips related
Okay.
video, like some microphone recommendations I
Got
did in the
it.
past, some tools that you can use to automate and to convert video, just
So
common
it's all
problems.
video though. That's your niche, your
That's my
online
niche.
marketing videos.
Correct.
Gotcha.
Correct. So
Okay.
my focus is how to use video to get more traffic to your site.
Right.
So my tips are related to video marketing and kind of tech tips related to video.
Absolutely. And what is the site? What is your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel, I think it's under my name actually. So it's
Okay.
youtube.com/Hani Mourra, HANIMOURRA.
Mm-hmm.
But my blog, which is kind of my biggest, it's kind of my main hub right now. It's easyonlinevideotips.com.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Easy
So
to remember.
easy to remember. Yeah. I like the name, Easy Online Video Tip. I'm all about easy and keeping it simple and kind of kept
Yes.
that theme
Yes.
when it came up with the simple video press. We kept that same theme
Mm-hmm.
of simplicity and because it's not that hard once you do it once. And initially, when you first get started, you might be intimidated by video. Oh,
Yes.
I need a camera, I need a microphone, lights, script, blah. You get overwhelmed,
I
but
know it can definitely be overwhelming. And when I work with clients for online marketing coaching, not just video, a lot of visual content, photographs, images, that kind
mhm,
of stuff. But it's always SEO, and YouTube obviously is great for that. But
yes,
I want to talk to you a little bit about how businesses can create content using their smartphone because
yeah,
this is something that I've been doing. I've been using the iPhone 5S to shoot a lot of my high definition, excellent quality videos, super simple. And I just wanted to find out what your thoughts were on using smartphones.
oh, that I we are so lucky these days with having such powerful, like smartphones are so powerful
Yes.
and their cameras are amazing for a very small device that you carry in your pocket everywhere
Mm-hmm.
you go. You're already carrying the camera with you. It's just a fantastic way to get videos done without all the technology, the cameras, and etc.
Right.
And I think it's so the quality is amazing, and they also very easy to use. Great apps on your Android phones or iPhones.
Right.
They make it very very simple. But even more important, I think it's amazing to incorporate a mix. So you have a lot of videos that are shot in the studio
Mm-hmm.
or in your office or like an interview we're doing now. But then you can mix it up if you're out somewhere interviewing, talking to a client in person, or maybe on vacation, you come up with a great idea. People want to see, they want to see you, they want to see you. Like they
Right.
want to see what you're all about. And it's not all business, it's not all a big front, a big production. They want to see almost like behind the scenes in a way. And they're intrigued by that. They want to see what Vickie does on a day-to-day basis. If you're on vacation and you shoot a video,
Mm-hmm.
they want to know kind of both sides, the business side and almost like not personal side, but I guess different angle, different perspective to get to know you as a person because they're going to be working with you.
Yes, absolutely. And I just want to share, you do that. You put your money where your mouth is because you certainly do that yourself. And you do your tip videos, but you also share stuff about you. You share a lot of content about your daughters, who you're quite proud of. They are so absolutely beautiful. They really are. And it's interesting for me to see that beyond just the smart Hani Mourra, the brilliant Hani Mourra that I know, it makes you real. I mean, people do
Yes.
business with people. Like, hey,
Yes.
let's face it, we
Yes.
need the technical skills that we can't provide, like if we can't do something ourselves, we're going to have to go to somebody to provide it for us. But we
Exactly.
want to do business with people that we think are authentic, that we believe in. So, yes, you do that totally. So, you use your smartphone for that. Give me a tip that you would have to show somebody how easy it really is to use your smartphone to produce a video.
Sure, yeah. I actually one of my latest videos, which I'm gonna admit I've been a little bit more focused on the software in this past
Mm-hmm.
year or so, but my last video, I think, most recent video about a year ago, I was on vacation and I don't know, I just got this urge to we were in Mexico and it took about half an hour. I came, I stepped on the balcony and it was a nice sunny day and I just recorded a video. I had my phone, I recorded it, and I tied it to my vacation. So we are having a problem with our vacation. The weather was we had all my cousins and the kids
Mm-hmm.
were all there, and the weather first day or two was raining all day long,
Oh,
and the kids were going nuts because they wanted to go swimming,
right, right.
and we didn't know what to do. And so anyway, so when I shot the video, I I kind of tied it to my vacation. I said, you know what, if you're stuck, with your video marketing
Mm-hmm.
and want stop, take a break, look at the big picture, figure out where you're stuck and then try to solve that problem. I can't remember exactly how I tied it, but I made it tied to my vacation and it kind of served two purposes. People knew I was on vacation, I'm taking a break. I'm human too, right? We're
Sure,
all human.
sure.
And it's some nice background, sunny day.
Mm-hmm.
People, like to see that, especially in the winter time, kind of where we live. It's really
Yeah.
rough winter,
Mm-hmm.
and I still gave a valid point. I gave some value to someone listening and some encouragement, some tips on how to kind of overcome how you struggle if you have a
Yes.
struggle with video. And actually, another example of this is I went for a jog about again a year ago.
For a
It's also
jog
on
or a
my blog.
job?
A jog. I don't run. I don't usually run.
Uh-huh.
But last year, for whatever reason, I got inspired to go out in January. It was a cold day, snowy day. I went for a run and I wasn't prepared.
Okay.
And I just didn't have my hat on, didn't have anything. I just took it out and started running, no gloves. And then I turned around, I came back in, and um, and then I'm like, I gotta get prepared. So I went and put the hat on, everything. I went for a run, and as I was running, again, I just started thinking, you know what, this is a good lesson I learned here. Be prepared
Yes.
when you're doing something
Right.
new, and pace yourself. Because I was getting out of, I was trying to, I was really
Sure.
excited. And I ran. I didn't pace myself, so I kind of made it. As soon as I got back, I made a video
Yes.
outside in the snow, and I said, you know what, two things
Mm-hmm.
I learned from running, how they apply to video marketing.
Yes. And I'm glad that you mentioned that because, again, you help people with tips, okay, on how to get better at video marketing. But it's also important to think of the other types of content that you can produce that are helpful to people, how to be more productive, how to
Yes,
be better, at some skill beyond the video marketing because we do other things and they help us be better people because at the end of the day, we're all doing this to live the life that we want to live, right? Not to be the best, video marketers and that's the be all end all. So I think that was an excellent point you touched upon. So if a business is looking for another idea for video content to produce, think of other things that are happening in your life that you might want to share with someone about how you got better at something or you realized something.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And as long as it's some kind of value, it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't have to be exactly to your target customers looking for. As long as you offer value, people will see another side of you.
Right.
People will learn more about you as a person. So I think smartphones is it's a blessing to
That's
everyone
great.
with a smartphone.
Great.
It's a great tool. It's easy to use, and you build that trust.
Hmm.
People see you from a different angle, and which builds that trust and
And
that
what do you
relationship.
think about using playlists for that? Like say you do produce different types of content. would you use a playlist for a certain type of content, or do you use playlists at all?
I don't. I haven't taken the time to do that. I
Okay.
mean, it's a good idea if you want to segment your different types of videos on YouTube.
Okay, but you do
And
it on your blog because I know you do have different categories,
yes, I have
right?
different categories on my blog
Yes.
for how-to tips or I forget exactly the categories. So it helps kind of break down if someone's looking for
Right.
a tip versus maybe a tool or versus something else. So yeah, it's good to have a little bit of categories, but
Right.
you don't want to have too many
Hmm.
because you still want to make sure that you stay focused because you don't
Yes.
want to. Your objective is to get people value on a particular subject that you're an expert in or a field that you're an expert in. You don't want to kind of have categories that go too far
Hmm.
outside of that scope.
Right.
And it's good to have a few categories to help people navigate your site a
Hmm.
little bit better. Yeah.
Absolutely. Anything to make it easier for people to find, you're going to get
Yes.
these. So,
Yes.
talk to me a little bit, honey, about social media. I know you're a fanatic. You're all over the place. Tell me a little bit more about your favorite places to be in social media.
Yeah, I find I spend a lot of time on Facebook
Hmm.
and more recently than before, and I just use it for more personal stuff. I used to promote a lot of my own blog posts, and I do, on Facebook. But now
Hmm.
Facebook is more is it's a social place. I try to give it like an 80-20 maybe. Like 80% of the time, it's just pictures of me, my daughter, what I'm up to, going for a run,
Hmm.
beautiful day in the park, and photos are good because photos grab people's attention.
Okay.
So on Facebook, I do a lot less on the business marketing, but still get people to get to know me a little bit better once they're on my Facebook. That's my personal Facebook. I have a fan page as well.
Right.
Um,
And I am your friend on Facebook. I
yes.
am so lucky. I
So
think
yeah,
that's great.
yeah, no, Facebook is great, but I find the fan page, you gotta pick and choose because it's only so much time that you can
Absolutely.
invest, and you don't want to spread yourself too thin. Otherwise, you don't have a good. It's not a good use of your time. So
Right.
I find,
Especially if you're just the one person doing it and you're a one man show, it's really difficult to be everywhere and to
yes,
run yourself thin. So I think you do a great job in focusing on what you're excellent at and what you have the most time for, what you're passionate about. And that's really helping people with online marketing. So I thank you for that.
yeah, yeah. So Facebook, Twitter, I hardly use.
Hmm.
Very little I use it, and YouTube, obviously, it's kind of my number one place in terms of posting my videos.
Yes.
So I keep it simple. Like, people, you can take it as far as you want, but I always recommend, back to my simple
Yes.
philosophy. Start simple, have a system that works. So, upload a video to YouTube, put it on your blog, share the blog post on Facebook and Twitter,
Right. And
and
it,
LinkedIn, and
yes,
and
it
then that's
makes it
it.
very easy. It really does. Like your simple video press was like phenomenal because it really answered the problem of, gee, I'm like a one woman show. I'm trying to do everything without the assistance of a virtual assistant because I'm trying to do it myself for now. For
Mhm.
now. And it's really difficult to be everywhere. So it's great when you have a process, put it on YouTube, which can also push it out to Google Plus, Facebook, and Twitter, puts it to the blog. You can also share it from there on auto post. It's great. So
Yeah,
I'm really glad that you have simple video press for us business owners who are just looking for that solution. I
yeah.
want to ask you, do you have any extra things coming up on your plate? Any upcoming projects that you'd like to share with us today?
Actually, I do. But before I get into that, I want
Okay.
to just kind of follow up on the social media.
Oh,
Uh, just to kind of give people a bigger picture so they don't get too bogged down about Twitter and what's the length of the Twitter post, and
yeah.
just kind of big picture thing. Basically, you need to make sure treat social media, even YouTube, as a source of traffic, right? And the big picture is you want to get traffic from YouTube, Twitter, Facebook to your site.
Hmm.
On your site, the main objective is to get people to sign up for your newsletter. That should be the objective. You don't want to sell anything. You want them to sign up for your newsletter, which solidifies your relationship. So they commit the next step. You don't meet someone, then you marry them. You kind of date them, and then you marry them after.
Uh-huh.
So you first step is to kind of start dating, and you enter the newsletter. You get them to sign up for your newsletter. And typically you want to incentivize that by giving them free training or free videos, etc. Videos are always perceived as high value. So if
Yes.
you offer someone free videos, they'll be more motivated to leave their email. Once they're in the newsletter, you continue to offer value. You keep in touch with them every week, every 2 weeks, all your latest blog posts, all your latest tips.
Okay.
And then down the road, you can incorporate a little bit of soft selling. So if you have a product that you released or a service you want to offer, then you can introduce that just to the people who are on your mailing list, because those are the people who are interested in you and your services. So that's kind of the flow I want to make sure we capture. And if one tip you want to take away from this interview is just understand that process.
Right. It's a whole process, and it's driving the traffic, but collecting those leads before they go. Because at the end of the
Yes.
day, you really need to know who you can contact when you've got that next big project coming down the pike where you want to share that and maybe sell it.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, so that's my, it's not a video marketing tip, but that's kind of the online marketing. The way you, the simplest way to look at it is
Brilliant.
how you drive them through. So that's one tip you want to walk away with. I think that's a good one
Yeah.
for your audience, whoever's watching this, to really think like that. Don't think traffic to my site and then sell, 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 sell. You don't want
Yeah.
to be that aggressive salesperson. You want to build that relationship by giving great content on your site, giving even better content for free on your newsletter, and then once they're in your newsletter, try to offer your services or products.
Yes, absolutely. And that soft sell message is excellent to think of when you're in social media, because
Yeah,
that's also like a playground. Nobody's selling at the playground, right?
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So, I think that's great. Do you have any upcoming projects that you would like to share with us today?
Yeah, yeah. I am. I don't want to talk too much about it because it's just early on, but I really want to. I'm all about simplicity and automation. So that's how
Yes.
Simple Video Press was born, and so I'm looking to do something very similar to Simple Video Press, but focus more on the podcasting world.
Excellent.
So to kind of automate some of those tasks from the podcast, because that's how I was helping a few people launch their podcasts, focusing on the technical side and the
Okay.
video editing, and I know there's a lot of steps involved in getting a
Yes.
podcast, especially when you have a video component, where you do a video and then you get the audio portion.
Yes.
I can't solve all the problems. I'd love to solve all the problems with one amazing video,
Right.
one amazing product, but
Right.
I'm going to start off. I have something that's just going to start actually this week, kind of nailed down the scope of the project, and I'm going to start
Great.
working on this tool
That is
that
phenomenal.
solve one problem. So podcasting is something that if you're not doing, it may or may not make sense for your business, but it's becoming a very popular topic.
Yes. And
And
and I think that's so excellent. It's very timely. This is actually going to live on my podcast as well, Smarter Online Marketing. This will be featured. We'll have to see how the length of it is. I want to make sure that it's good for the listener. Maybe we'll split it into two pieces, but I actually am putting this podcast on my blog as well. So I have the Simple Video Press, but then I have a Blueberry plugin. Are you familiar with Blueberry?
yes, yeah,
Okay, so I use that. So it gives me a nice player from Libsyn, which hosts my podcast on the blog. So that would be phenomenal if you could make it like a one-stop shop. Is that what you're planning on doing?
yes,
Am I
yeah.
supposed to be quiet about that?
Not really. No,
Okay.
no. But you've got the idea. I'm probably gonna have to hit you up to be a beta tester again
Woohoo!
to test it out. So,
You can hit me up anytime about that. That's fantastic.
all right, awesome, awesome. So yeah,
Good.
that's it. I'm excited. Software solving problems, automating, simplifying is kind of what I've been focusing on. I really enjoy doing, and yeah, that's. I'm excited for that new tool.
That's so great. Thank you so much, honey. I want to leave you with one more question. Do you have time for one more question
Of
for you
course,
still?
yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Because this wasn't actually on our list to prepare you, so I just want to
Uh-oh.
see what you have to say. It'll be really from your heart. Just like to leave my audience with words of inspiration for my guests. So, what is something that truly inspires you for you and your business?
For my business. What inspires me is seeing results. Like seeing people who take the products or services and apply them and use them, and then come back to me and say, "That was awesome," or "That saved me a lot of time," or "saved me a lot of money." That that is what I work for. Like I want people to get the most out of whatever tool or service that I'm offering. And if you keep that as your purpose in business, money is one thing. Of course, you want to make money in business, but if your purpose is to get people, make people lives easier or better, whatever that means, it means different things for different businesses.
Right.
But if you make people's lives better and you focus on making your product the best possible, that's what drives me. And if that drives you, then you're gonna have amazing products, amazing services. People are gonna love you, and you're gonna feel fulfilled in your life and your business. So that's my tip.
That's great. And you keep inspiring me, honey, and more power to you.
All right. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for today's video. If you want to hear this podcast, you can check out Smarter Online Marketing Podcast. It's saywowmarketing.com/iTunes. It's also on Stitcher. Go to my website at saywowmarketing.com. And honey, I would like to share your website one more time.
Yeah, it's easyonlinevideotips.com.
Excellent. Thank you so much for today's episode. Thank you, honey.
Thanks for your time.
Bye.